Ancelotti just had an interview with Gary Lineker, in which he talked about Real Madrid. With all this ruckus coming out about egos at Real Madrid, this is what Ancelotti had to say. Real Madrid's results have been spectacular so far. What more can you ask Xabi Alonso for? At Real Madrid, even when you draw, they talk about crisis. Xabi Alonso is doing really well at Real Madrid. He did really well at Leverkusen, and I hope the best for him, because I'm a Real Madrid supporter. And he said that Xabi Alonso is a good profile for Real Madrid. I was sure about him being a good manager, but he's also a good profile for a Real Madrid manager. Was I involved in choosing him? Absolutely not. But he's a good profile because he knows the team, and I was sure, because he had a really good view of the player when he was a player. He was a fantastic midfielder. People say I was managing egos at Real Madrid. Not true. We worked a lot on tactical aspects as well. When I returned to Real Madrid, I was lucky to find a team without egos. They were fantastic players like Luka Modric, Casemiro, Toni Kroos, Carvajal, Benzema without egos. We built a good connection between young players like Vinny, Rodrigo, Valverde, Camavinga. Of course, the club helped a lot because they signed fantastic players, Jude Bellingham, Arda Güler, and Hendrik. So we were able to find a connection and win 2 Champions Leagues. A club that supports you a lot. Real Madrid is a really fantastic club. Oh, if you're enjoying the video so far, just like the video so I know. And if you want to stay updated with Real Madrid news, just follow. But he said, I try to have a relationship with the person, not the player. Because if you ask the player, who are you? They are used to saying, I'm a player, not a person who plays football. Sometimes a manager has to make a decision that is only a professional decision. But the professional decision sometimes affects the personal relationship. For example, if I put a player I have a good relationship with on the bench, the day after he won't say hello to you because I put him on the bench. If I put on the bench the player, not the person, that's not easy for a player to understand. Now he said Jude Bellingham is a fantastic player. If I have to compare, he's like Kaká, that kind of player. Really talented, physically very strong, fantastic in arriving at the box at the right time. He did really well and still doing really well. People say there are question marks on Jude Bellingham. In England media, what's he like? No question marks. Why do you put question marks on Jude Bellingham? I never had a problem with him or an attitude. He's really professional, very serious. Works hard in training, no complaints at all. He said a year before returning to Real Madrid, I had called them to ask if they had players who could leave. I had signed James Rodriguez. That year I had called during the same period, and I had asked if they found a good coach. They said no and asked me who would be good. I said, have you forgotten what we did in 2014? I could only do this for Real Madrid. And lastly, he said, I felt it was a good time to leave Real Madrid. It is obvious that Real Madrid will always be in my heart, but it was a great motivation to lead Brazil into the World Cup. The last time they won was 2002, and this team will compete for sure. Now with all that being said, let me know what you guys think.